Says I'm live. Am I really? Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Intuitive Insights in Tarot. I'm Scott. And, I know I'm late, so I know there's probably a lot of you that are not on yet, and you're going to be watching this in the replay in the morning. I appreciate you. Yeah, so I don't usually do Friday nights, but I haven't been very active on YouTube this month, and I'm just shy, a little bit shy of reaching that goal of $100 so I can get a payout that for the month of January that comes on comes next month, Wednesday. And I wanted to look at the question about this thing, HAARP. Okay, before I do that, I just want to show you something here. Let's see, to studio. And we'll be talking a little bit about what I'm going to be doing. Like I said, I'm winding down my activity on YouTube a little bit, and I'm going to take a break for the month of February. Um, I might come on maybe once or twice, but only if I really feel like there's something I need to say. And and if you are a member, I hope you'll maintain your membership. If you're not a member, it would really help me if you joined for even the lowest amount, like $2. Um, because I probably will be doing lives, like members only streams. But here, I just want to show you this real quick. So, see, this is my estimated revenue for this month. Just shy of that threshold of $100. And so I'm not sure this video will put me there just on views alone. So it would really help me out if you could either join as a member for that low, low price of just $2, or um, hit me with the super chat. Like if two people send me a super chat or super thank you if you're watching this in the morning, like two people, $5, I'll hit my threshold, and then I can get that get paid next month. All right, so let me take a look in the chat here, see if we got anybody there yet. And I see Serena Magic is there. And I gotta catch the here. And thank you for joining, Serena. I don't know if you're still there. I think you were there earlier, and I was a little late coming on. Got three people watching, and so I know there's not a lot of you there, but I want to see in the chat if anybody knows what the meaning of HAARP is. Without looking it up, don't Google it. So if you don't put it in the chat in the next 30 seconds, I'll know you Googled it. I want to see if and if you're watching this in the live stream and you think you know, type in what you think it is. Give you a chance to do that. And while you're thinking about that, what that could possibly mean, I I want to remind you guys that I'm still doing private readings, and this bar gets in the way. And if you go to this website here, I'll drop it in the chat. Copy the link. Here's my website. All So if you go to my website and then come down here to book here, you could I encourage you to read what the testimonials I have in here, client testimonials. That's just a few of the emails that people have sent me saying how much I've helped them and see what kind of what I do. But if you decide you do want to book a reading with me and you never have, then first thing I want you to know is that this is simply my suggested fee. Okay, $110 for an hour. Usually go over an hour if need be. Um, but I don't have like a hard um, time limit. I don't like cut you off at an hour. Um, and that's a price I came up with because I saw that other tarot card readers charge about this much. All right. However, I want to be available to you, to anybody who needs me. Okay, so and then also for if you just want 30 minutes, $55. But you can pay me whatever you can afford. Okay, because my main mission here is to be here to help you. I'm now receiving my retirement pension, so this is not my only source, not my main source of income, but it certainly helps. And I just get a great deal of pleasure helping people uh, with their life problems if I can. Okay. So if yeah, I would appreciate if you join this Telegram group for bookings only. It makes communications easier instead of using email. Um, you click here. This will take you to a booking app called Calendoo. All of the times and dates that you see here displayed here will be in your local time and date. I require a 12-hour in advance. However, if it's an emergency, you really need something, you don't see a date, pardon me, a time there for it, message me and I'll see if I can fit you in. Um, I accept Cash App and oh, it's not up here. I thought I had oh, buy me a coffee. Yeah. Uh, I'm still a little groggy this one. uh, Buy me a coffee. All right. This is for people who don't have Cash App or PayPal, or if you don't have PayPal and you live outside the United States. A lot of people get confused by this. One coffee is $5, so that's 5, 15, and $25. And then here, if you can type, if it's $110 you want to pay, that's what 22 coffees, I believe. And that's how you book with me. And yeah, so let's get into this topic tonight. And I want to do another check on the chat right here, see if any comments or questions yet from the audience. Christy Tosmer, weather manipulation through some kind of radar manipulations through the atmosphere. But what is HAARP? And that's what we all been hearing for the past 20 years or so. That HAARP is used, that use radio frequencies to manipulate the atmosphere, right? In some kind of way. But none of us are scientists, or especially like with radar, so we don't understand that stuff, right? We just kind of, um, you know, listen to other people tell us and then we believe them, right? Which isn't really a great way to be forming our ideas of what the world is and how it works. So I've been doing some research on it, and I'm going to tell you guys what they tell us it is, what the people who created tell us. Now, I'm not saying it's true. By the way, let me say, I know weather manipulation is a thing. Okay. I'm not saying that nobody's has ever been manipulating the weather and that all the weather for the past 20 years has just been natural weather. But I am skeptical that it's coming from HAARP, and I'm going to tell you why. And since nobody came up with the answer for what HAARP actually stands for, let's see if I can remember it. I looked it up yesterday. High frequency active aurora uh, research project. Ah, I remembered it. Proud of myself. High frequency active aurora research project. Okay, so it's a research project. It's supposed to be for science, and it's for studying the aurora and for how radi- radio waves are affected in the ionosphere. And the ionosphere is what they're aiming at when they use this thing. And I had a little diagram here. I want to show you guys the atmosphere. Pull that up real quick. And so I know a lot of you are not into science and even maybe reject science because it's been used to lie to us so much. And I agree with you. However, I still love science and it has a useful place in our life when it's used correctly, not weaponized against us to make us believe in things that simply aren't true, right? Okay, so here is an image of the atmosphere. I have that there, right? Okay, so I looked this up, and the first layer closest to the surface of the Earth is the troposphere. This is where all of the weather happens. Okay, this is where all the clouds are, and and most weather does not. I'm pretty sure almost all weather, except for sprites, I believe, which is a kind of lightning, happen in this area. Planes usually fly above that in the stratosphere. And then we have the mesosphere. This is where usually the comets burn up before they reach the Earth. And the thermosphere, which ironically is supposed to be extremely hot, but for some reason satellites don't melt there. So the ionosphere is somewhere in this area. It stretches from the mesosphere into the thermosphere. And then we have the exosphere, which goes out supposedly like 6,000 miles. Okay, so this area of space is what they're aiming the radio high frequency um, radio waves at. Okay, and then I have some information here I'm gonna tell you about regarding HAARP. Now, like I said, this is what they tell us that it does. Okay. Okay, let's see, active facility. Well, for one thing, there are four such facilities in the world. The first one was HAARP, and it's in Alaska, and it's run by the Navy, I believe the Air Force. Let me see, let me find this is not the information I wanted. HAARP provide construction. All right. Earthquake machine. HAARP device construction. Is that the one? Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay. I'm gonna do it from memory. That'll be better anyway, I guess. Um, so yeah, what they claim is that they created this device to study the ionosphere and um, and the auroras. And by the way, this is the area of space where that protects us from radiation, from cosmic rays in the sun, and from other things like that. And and when there's a storm, a cosmic storm, they get channeled through the ionosphere to the poles, and that's what gives us the aurora borealis. Okay, so here's the problem with saying that, as someone, as who was this in the comments said, Christy said, weather manipulation through some kind of radar manipulations through the atmosphere. Okay, here's the problem with that. Radars, radiation, radio waves. It's radio waves. Okay, just like the ones that are being used to send signals to my phone, and if you still listen to your radio, and one transmitter, like a radio station transmitter, 50,000 watts of power, has about 5 times as much energy in it. It's pumping out into the atmosphere, going up into the ionosphere, as as the as what the HAARP creates. Okay, and oh, by the way, they do use it to heat the ionosphere. They call it it's like actually heating that part of the atmosphere. And there's really no correlation scientifically, physically, between that type of energy in that region of the atmosphere that could affect storms, make it rain, break up the the polar vortex, right? To create, a lot of people think that these storms that are happening now and the polar vortex breaking down, causing this cold weather, is because of HAARP, right? And if a couple other notable, oh, and the other thing is earthquakes. People think that they cause earthquakes, and radio waves just can't do that. Radio waves cannot cause earthquakes. Um, I first heard about this around, I want to say it was after the tsunami, after the big earthquake here in Thailand, just a couple years later. I was really interested in this because I was here when it happened, and I found this article. It's a very long article, and it read more like a novel. And it was about somebody in Alaska who claimed to be in a bar and talking to somebody who worked at HAARP, who gave him this whole story about how HAARP was used to trigger the Boxing Day earthquake that created the tsunami that killed 250,000 people. He said the reason they did it was there was somebody vacationing in Phuket or in Thailand, who was like, um, somebody that the cabal, whatever, the deep state wanted to take out. So they took out 250,000 people to get this one person that was vacationing in Thailand. That seems pretty far-fetched. Um, and so that was when I first heard about using HAARP to create earthquakes. Okay. But it really, when you really look at and think about the science of it, it doesn't make sense. Okay. Mind control is another thing they said it could be used for. So, okay, once again, I want to be clear. I know that there has been weather manipulation in the past, but I'm not sure that HAARP is the thing that's doing it. Maybe that was even a red herring. That book, Angels Don't Play This HAARP. Maybe that was a red herring to get people looking over there, to look away from what was really causing the uh, the weather manipulation, right? So let's get down to it. Oh, like I said, and like I was saying, if you read the book, Angels Don't Play This HAARP, and if you watch any other podcasters talk about, HAARP is causing this, um, they don't know either. So you're just taking somebody else's word, right? I don't trust them. I don't trust anybody else because people do things for fame and money and who knows what their reasons could be. I do, however, trust my cards. I trust my cards. Right? You don't have to trust my cards. I trust my cards. And I've never done a reading on HAARP. So I'm going to ask the simple question, what is HAARP? Is it what we're told it is? Or is it something completely different? Maybe it doesn't use radio waves at all. Maybe it uses some other type of plasma energy or some exotic energy we don't know about, and that's being used to manipulate the weather. And then again, if that was true, why would they be open about it? Why would this facility, why would we even know that this exists? There are places on Earth that you could build something like this where nobody would ever hear about it. And in my research yesterday, I found out that I believe HAARP has been shut down now, by the way. But when it was open, they would have open houses and they would invite people in to give them tours. They could ask questions. So it's not very covert. And we all did. I've been guilty of this as well. Okay. Like you remember the Hurricane Sandy that hit New York, which was very ironic that this was just after the Sandy Hook event that I can't really talk about here, or at least don't want to take a chance talking about it. You know, you had that name, Sandy, coming up, and then right after that comes the storm. That seemed ironic. And I remember watching that, and in the radar images, you'd see these pulses, these rings of light. And I've got some examples of my own I can show you. What is up? Yeah, right here. Oops. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So I'm fascinated by weather. I look at weather a lot, and I note one day when I was looking at the local weather where I'm at, I saw this. Am I sharing it? Yeah. So this is where I live down here. I saw this strange ring here, and I'm like, oh, what is that? Is that HAARP? They're using HAARP on us again, right? And here's another one. Here's another one. These look really strange. They, looks like, and this is what I saw in Sandy, Hurricane Sandy. These rings that would seem like they were being pulsed. This is a really weird one. This one I got from Mr. MBB 333, whatever it is, because it looks like a mandala. That was really strange. And the explanation for those is that they're just picking up ground clutter. It's something in the atmosphere that's just causing an anomaly, right? Um, and then there was that storm in Texas, the one that caused it just like sat there and caused that massive flooding. And first thing we all say, HAARP. Oh, there's HAARP. They're using HAARP again. All right. So I'm going to get to the bottom of it with my cards. I'm going to find out, is it HAARP or is there something else? But I'm going to ask some other questions too. But for right now, I just want to ask the question, can HAARP be used to manipulate weather? Okay. And if I get a yes from this, I'm going to keep using that. I'm going to say, oh, they're using HAARP again. But if not, I am never again going to bring up the word HAARP in reference to weather manipulation. Okay, so here we go. I want to look at my screen, make sure you guys can see everything. Okay. you know what? Just for complete transparency, I'm gonna give these cards a shuffle. Really good shuffle, actually, because what I would expect to see are wands and swords. Wands and swords, and not many major arcana. And the major arcana I would expect to see would have to do with energy and maybe the sun, something like that. All right, I think that's enough. The cut. And this is going to be well, okay, three possible answers. One, um, that it is exactly what they tell us it is in the mainstream. Two, nope, it's something entirely else that's being used to manipulate weather. Or three, inconclusive. I really can't answer the question. Okay, so the first card represents me. I'm the one asking the question. What? Look at that. Okay, that's what I was expecting. So that's like what I think, because that's what I think it is. I really do believe that it's just this device. There's a page of swords. By the way, this one of the groups responsible for running HAARP is a university. So there's students there. That's a student card, and it's swords, okay, which is communications. Kind of pentacles. That could be the funding or something. More wands. Yeah. And ooh, well, isn't that interesting? The devil. Well, and then Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. Hmm. Wasn't expecting that devil. But it's just it's funny because these other cards are saying it's no, it is what they say it is. Ah, I think I know. Ah, devil's deceptive, you know? Hold on a second. I'm looking. I want to take a look at this. See if there's. I always get something different when I learn more this way by looking at. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, one of the things I mentioned is that people will lie about things for money and to make money and fortune. I think whoever wrote the book, Angels Don't Play This Harp, was the one being deceptive here. It's the only major arcana I have here. It's about deception, the devil, and for material gain. And I just don't have a lot of other cards to back up that this is being used by the cabal, was being used by the cabal for for weather control and manipulation. I do believe that really was created by regular people, regular folks. Okay, this is like where it came from. For education purposes, and it's a very unique device that was created for education purposes. But look, part of this is my own opinion. Okay, I think authors, like the people, like I don't know who wrote the book, but whoever wrote the book, other podcasters, other YouTubers, I think they exploit your fear to get views and to get likes and to make money. I mean, the guy who sold that book, I don't know how well it sold, but I mean, I know a lot of people bought it. Uh, and this is abundance, making money, and this is manifesting that money. So part of this is my own bias, okay? I do think that people take things like this and then sensationalize them in order to profit. And that's what I think happened with this. Okay. I would have had to get this card up here or here or here and some other um, kind of major arcana or big control cards like the Emperor or the Hierophant. Okay. So for me, this is enough evidence to say that HAARP is exactly what they say it is, a research device that is used for to study. And it's funny in this card, if you even look at, he's pointing up above the clouds. So here's the cloud layer, and here's the energy from going up above that. Okay, and wands, we've got two wands, and yeah, wands are energy, and yeah, I just don't buy it. Now, like I said, I do believe that weather manipulation is a thing. Uh, but I don't know if okay, let's do this. And since there are other devices in the world, or maybe there's something we don't know about that was being used. So let's see, do the powers that pose goodness and humanity still have the power to use weather as a weapon? Okay, I know it was going on. I'm pretty sure that Hurricane Sandy was manipulated. Harvey, I think it was the one that hit uh, Texas so badly, the floods. The 311 earthquake uh, in Japan. Benjamin Fulford said that was caused by a nuclear bomb that they placed down in the trench. I believe that. I don't think HAARP can start earthquakes. I don't believe that HAARP was used to create an earthquake in 2004 that killed 250,000 people and made the love of my life, Anna, vanish off the face of the earth. She was living in Indonesia. I don't believe that. But I do believe that they can create earthquakes. I believe the one in 311 in Japan was a created earthquake. Okay. Um, so do the dark forces, whoever they are, still have access to controlling the weather? This winter storm that happened, just it's happening now, I suppose. Was that weather manipulation? By the way, show you this real quick. HAARP HAARP was built in the early 90s. Okay. We had bad weather before the early 90s. We had, you remember Hurricane Andrew, the way that that one formed. And we had cold weather and uh, polar vortexes coming down into the lower 48 states long before HAARP was invented. And if you'll see here, oops, let me do that again. The sound. Okay. And then this is from 1978.
In 1977, the worst winter in a century struck the United States. Arctic cold gripped the Midwest for weeks on end. Great blizzards paralyzed cities of the Northeast. One desperate night in Buffalo.
All right. So sound familiar? All right. That was 1977 when that polar vortex happened. All right. So this is nothing new. Um, but like I said, I do believe that there has been weather manipulation in the past. And let's see if they're still capable of doing that today. Okay. Yes, I do believe that the devil in that last reading was the people taking advantage of your fear to make money by sensationalizing things like HAARP. Well, HAARP in particular. Okay, HAARP. That's the only one I was looking at. It also could have been what I said before about it's a red herring. Look at HAARP, don't look somewhere else for the weather manipulation. So this is the question: is it still going on now? Okay, and this is me. Well, I'm not getting any solid yeses, no aces, and we're entering into a new era. That's what I feel like with this three of wands. The military has taken control of things like that. This is stable. This is the Earth, stable environment on Earth, and it's also a military card, taking it in a new direction. Okay, there's new people in control, looking to a brighter future. You notice how this card's got this beautiful yellow skies. In other words, like a bright, it's bright, it's warm. The Queen of Swords, which is another form of military control, that the military has taken control. And that now, with the guidance, maybe of our extraterrestrial brothers or some higher wisdom, is going to be able to stabilize The Four of Pentacles is stable foundation, adaptability. The Two of Pentacles. There's natural weather change happening now. It's part of um, the evolution of the consciousness of the Earth and the whole solar system. Did you know that all of the planets are warming up right now, not just the Earth? Yes, I do believe that there are other planets in space. I just don't believe it's exactly the way NASA tells us it is. And our solar system is moving through a very active part of the galaxy right now, through the uh, ecliptic plane, like the center part of the universe. I'm sorry, a galaxy. And so, no, I don't think that. In fact, that's the only major arcana we have is the yeah Hermit there, and that's guiding with wisdom. Okay, make sure you guys can see these. So no, I think we're about to enter into a time of more natural weather. And look, weather is violent. The earth is violent. Earthquakes, volcanoes, they happen naturally. It's part of living on a dynamic entity, the earth. The earth is a organism on its own with its own consciousness, I believe. Right? Okay, we got some action in the chat here. Okay, yep, it's pretty frozen in Finland. Susan Chamberlain says that's good news. Yes, exactly. We need to start focusing on the positive. Worrying about things like weather manipulation is fear-based, you know? What other questions are there about this topic? If you guys don't have any other questions, then I'm gonna wrap this up. And even without the super chats or the super thank yous, I think this will give me enough in the next 24 hours to reach my goal of $100. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I think I'm going to be taking the month of February off. Maybe going to think of a new direction to take this channel. Um, I love mysteries, and I love using my cards to try to get to the bottom of mysteries, like real crime dramas. Like I did a reading on Scott Peterson. If you remember, he's the man who was convicted of murdering his wife, his pregnant wife, and now it seems like new evidence is coming out that he didn't do it. And I did a reading on that, and I got that he did not do it, you know? And that was pretty fascinating. The Menendez brothers, I don't think I did a reading on them, and they did kill their parents, but now it's coming out that they were not in their right minds when it happened. They were abused, and they probably shouldn't have gotten life in prison. So maybe I'm going to steer away from the truther stuff and more into more entertaining things and seeking out mysteries. Like I did a reading for Linda on Amelia Earhart, and I got that she had been recruited by the U.S. government to be a spy, and that's why and then she was shot down and taken prisoner by the Japanese. That's, I think, a very likely thing that happened to her, which was interesting. How about looking into how many famous people are transgender? Nah, I'm not interested in that. It really doesn't confront me one way or another. Um, I I think that there's a an agenda, or there was an agenda by the Satanists and Luciferians to try to make more people think that they're transgender than they really are. But I also think that there really is a phenomenon where people are born with the mind of the opposite sex in the body that they're in. I believe that's a real thing, and I have compassion for those people. I have had clients who've had children that were like that. Um, I just don't. It's a very, very small percentage of the population, though, like maybe 2%, something like that. Not what they're telling us it is now. Uh, so yeah, it's not really something I'd be interested in, but thanks for the suggestion. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate you guys being here. We have a hopeful future ahead of us, guys. We're leaving the age of darkness. We're entering into the age of light. All these things are going to become clear to us at some point, I believe. We won't have to be trying to figure it out all by ourselves. But remember, don't give in to fear. There's a lot of fear porn going around right now about World War III and what the Chinese are doing, and what the Russians are doing. What what's Trump doing? Is Trump really working for the White Hats, or is he really a bad guy? All this kind of stuff. Don't worry about that stuff. Worry about yourself in the moment now. Right? Worry about the people around you. Are they doing okay? Can you help them? How can you be of service to the people around you? If you need help, find someone who can help you. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in, and please hit the button. I never say this, right? Hit the like button. Share this out. Help me get some views. Help me make that get that last 10 or $8 that I need, uh, so I can get a paycheck. Oh, you know what? I forgot to give away free memberships. Membership gifting. Voila. It's the end of the month. I don't know if these are will go through the month of February. But Deborah Knight, you received a gift membership. Chili Bean Live. Chili Bean? Is that Billy Bean, the creator that makes a lot of wild videos about unusual things? Diane loves bears. Savasa and Rochelle Larito. And I can give away 5 more. Let's see who this is. Yeah, I stayed up too late last night, so I'm a little groggy today. Terry Jones, Izzy, XP7QO, myself. Wow, that's my other account. And Iluna, 6684, Wink 319. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for helping me reach my goal. Um, if you're watching this in the replay and you can hit me up with a little super chat to make sure I reach it, that would be great. Share it. Help this video get as many views as possible. But as for me, I'm going to stop saying HAARP did it because I just don't believe that HAARP it was responsible. I don't believe HAARP was the one thing that was doing. Okay, that's just me. I believe people use that fear porn to sell books and get clicks on YouTube channels and things like that. That's my own opinion. And you'll never, ever catch me doing anything like that. I'm here to seek the truth, not for sensationalism. I'm not here to wake people up either. You do that yourself. I am here, however, to help you find your lost bar of silver, as Beverly, uh, as I did for Beverly, or your lost cat, or to find out how your estranged family members are because they don't talk to you anymore, or if you're going to get that job that you applied for and what you should do to get it. Those are the type of things I'm here to help you with. All right. So, good night, everybody. And thank you to the 11 people, 49 views so far. All right. And I'm not sure when I'm going to be back. I don't think I'm going to be doing my regular Sunday nights. I'm just going to be, oh, I'm going to experiment with AI soft or video editing. So I used to do production videos and I would spend like 4 or 5 or 6 hours recording the video, and then another 4 or 5 or 6 hours editing those videos, and then I would load them onto YouTube, and they would earn about $10 in 1 month. And it was wearing me out. My hands were getting tired from holding the phone to edit. My eyes were getting tired. I was getting headaches. However, if I can record a video and then run it through an AI processor and it spits out like a really nice edited video, I might start doing that. All right, guys. So thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. Um, Consider joining, hitting the join button. Let me show you where that is real quick. Actually, I don't see it here. Anyways, if you want to join the membership members, and from time to time I'll be doing members only chats, and we can hang out there and you can ask me anything you want for just the price of the membership. And good night. Thanks for being here. See you next time.